let's get back into our team previews here. We'll head back up towards the top and let's talk about Miami. The Hurricanes, their win total, John, sitting at 9.5 right now. It's plus 122 to the over on FanDuel, minus 150 to the under. They returned 15 starters to this team, seven on offense. That's on an offense that put up over 43 points per game last season. Obviously, different quarterback, Carson Beck coming in off that injury. Can Shannon Dawson fix him is the big question mark. I like this marriage a lot. I do think if there's anybody that can fix what's been wrong with Carson Beck, it's Shannon Dawson. The defense, on the other hand, they do return like eight starters. Not sure if that's a good thing because they allowed over 30 points per game a year ago. The defense was terrible. Always a question mark. So I guess the real question for me, though, is how much pressure is on Mario Cristobal this year?
It's got to start to bear fruit here when
It's a
when it
showman
comes.
year, right?
Yeah, this is big time for him. Like we've kind of established here that Clemson is the odds-on favorite here, but Miami absolutely needs to at least make the ACC championship game, and they need to get into the college football playoff. Like it's crazy the way that things fell apart for them last year, and they just it always feels like they're good for one or two slip ups under Cristobal. We saw it a couple years ago against Georgia Tech. We saw it last year with the game against Syracuse. It's just there's always something with these guys, and I think you kind of circled it with the defense. That's where it needs to improve. I think the offense is going to be able to print points for the most part. It's super talented, even if there's a decent amount of change going on at in important spots, everything like that. But man, come on, like they need to take care of business here, or otherwise, you don't want to feel like if you're Miami that like you've kind of plateaued at this level, especially in an era where there's 12 teams that can get into the freaking playoff. Like you got to be in there.
Yeah, I mean, look, on one hand, yes, Miami has improved every season under Mario. They've gone from 5-7 to 7-5 to 10-3 last year, but they're still just like this bad taste in your mouth with Miami right now. And Mario is just something when it's like game management, which is like it's just like coaching 101. We know he's a great recruiter, always has been. The lines are going to be much better this year. They got that first round talent kid in Mayoga. I can't even pronounce his name. Francis Mauigoa, whatever his name is going to be an absolute stud. You got Beck. I love Ruben Bain on the defensive side. But I don't know. This defense, the secondary, something just does not quite sit right with me when it comes to Miami. Let's take a look at their schedule here. Share my screen again with everybody. Um, so the big thing with Miami's schedule, obviously they have the worst opening week in all of college football going against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But once you get past that, no Clemson on this schedule, John. 9.5. You got plus money to the over. Where are you leaning with this right now when it comes to the U?
I think I like the under. I do, and they should obviously get to at least 10 wins. I do think that Notre Dame beats them in the opener, even though that one is at home. But I think that last three games, I would be surprised if they don't slip up at least once in that stretch, and I think that Florida can absolutely beat them as well. So that gets us down to three losses there in the regular season. So that therefore the under. But I think that again that run where they face NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt, in those last two being on the road, and those teams are going to get up for that. I could see Miami, slipping up. I hearken back to some would say the Kenny Pickett game in 2017 when Miami they were free and clear, like they were going to make the college football playoff, four-team college football playoff. They go into Pittsburgh the day after Thanksgiving and just sleepwalk, and Kenny Pickett beats them. Ultimately, Miami has to play in the Orange Bowl, and that's where the famous who was the Wisconsin coach? This is so embarrassing off the top of my head, but he said turnover chain my things that would get us.
Chris, was it Chris at that point?
Yeah, it was Paul Chris. Turnover chain
Yeah,
uh,
you can swear. We're on the
my
internet. We're
my,
not, no
my
exclusivity.
forking butt. He said so. But I remember that, and I know this is a decade ago, totally different, but I could see Miami just blowing it. They're a program where I understand the talent, I understand the case for them, but just believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I mean they are your classic wheels fall off kind of team. Wouldn't surprise me either. I'm leaning towards the under there at 9.5. I don't trust this defense to come through in the big spots when they're going to need them. Couple key numbers for you, John. Mario at the U. He is 1-5 versus top 25 opponents and 0-3 versus top 10. Notre Dame's going to be ranked there week one. Florida could be ranked by the time they see him. Florida State, who we're going to talk about next, could maybe they get some stuff going there too. And then some other dark horses in the ACC can mix into that category as well. So you got to show me, Mario, show me this year for me to buy in anymore.